recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Z Games.
Z Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at ZEDGamesAU.
Hello, you're listening to Z Games. My name is Sarah, and with me in the studio is...
Peter!
And...
Caroline.
Hello, Peter and Caroline!
Hello, Zara!
Hi, Zara.
Hello, Caroline.
How are we all doing today?
Doing good!
Oh, awesome. Exactly. That's awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad that we're all feeling good. Mm-hmm. We've got a bit of a cracker episode lined up for today. We've got news, we've got some reviews as well. We've got a bit of a bundle of reviews actually.
Indeed.
An assortment?
An assortment, one might say. Perhaps even
Collection.
a charcuterie board of games.
Oh, I could go for a charcuterie board.
Oh, so could I.
Jesus.
How about
best shared.
what we've got next, which is...
News.
This week in gaming news, gaming gets political. When doesn't it? Pro-Palestinian Human Rights Movement, BDS, has added Microsoft and Xbox to its boycott list earlier last month due to its supply of AI and tech to the Israeli military. The group calls gamers to put pressure on the company by doing any of the following: cancelling Game Pass subscriptions, boycotting Candy Crush, Minecraft and Call of Duty games, and for the resolute, boycotting Microsoft gaming products and games published by Microsoft-owned publishers such as Activision, Blizzard and Bethesda. Further, indie developer Bardrew has joined the movement by removing the game Tenderfoot Tactics from the sale on the Xbox platform. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of games.
It's a lot of games to try and boycott.
It is a lot of games to try and boycott.
Microsoft owns a lot now.
Yeah, it's feeling like a Nestle situation over there, but shall we move on? Caroline.
Yes. Devs are pushing back against the slew of layoffs we've seen over the last year, including in the last week the second hit to Respawn from upper management in EA, with over 100 employees impacted, with restructuring and development of 2 new projects cancelled. EA then announced wider cuts to the experiences team, which is customer care, and other departments, with another 200 reportedly affected. Further, Meta has hamstrung the upcoming Meta Quest fitness app Supernatural, and other teams are laying off over 100 employees in their Reality Labs division.
Yep.
But fighting back are unionized workers from within. Frustrated workers at ZeniMax are asking for better wages, workplace improvements, and remote work options, and have already voted to authorize a strike. Microsoft has said they have presented fair proposals, but are accused of failing to engage with productive negotiations. And remote work seems to be a clincher, with Paradox Interactive's return to office policy, introduced last year for this year's rollout, has over half of the staff considering other work and 20% actively looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's just... why?
It's bummer after bummer.
It truly is. Peter, would you like to wrap up this fantastic trio?
Oh, it's a fantastic one today. Discord Downfall, our most loved chatting space for gamers, is being hit with a turbulent future with a new CEO on the horizon. Former Activision CSO, Humam Sakini, to be exact. Sakini originally started his rise to fame in Kingdom Digital Entertainment's Candy Crush, and its acquisition by Activision is now moving to the big chair, and he states his focus on Discord's foundation in gaming into the future in his incoming statement. But he's going to be hit with his first obstacle soon enough, with a US teenager suing Roblox and Discord, holding them accountable for facilitating the sexual exploitation of the plaintiff. The allegation specifically to Discord's Mark is advertising statement of safety specific to minors while also allowing users to host and post explicit and illegal content, as well as prioritizing growth over safety concerns. It's rough.
It is rough. And those concerns are pretty legitimate. I've seen not great stuff on Discord. I've seen not great stuff on the internet. The internet is what it is. But
It's a hellhole and a cesspit.
it is.
And I love it.
It can be a hellhole and a cesspit, and we are all but pigs that just like to grovel in the mud. However, there is a difference between toxic mud and just mud.
Yep.
And it's very much in the toxic category. Let's wrap up with some quick gaming bites and some game releases.
Yeah.
This one's really funny.
This
too.
one's funny.
We've all noticed. So GPUs are getting bigger.
Graphical processing unit of your computer is getting bigger.
Yes.
And would you say it's becoming an absolute unit?
I think that happened a while ago.
Well, now Asus is including gyroscopes in the 50 series graphics cards to detect sagging and proper installation of the unwieldy bricks of power.
Yep.
Can I come with a gyroscope to detect sagging in me?
At what point do we get a graphics card and then attach computer components to it, as opposed to put the graphics card in a computer?
I think it's not that far off. It's
No.
not that far off, Peter. And Steam, this is cool. Steam is now including accessibility tags in games listings. So these are accessed by developers with a new questionnaire and will be viewable by users on the store page.
That's good.
That will make it a lot easier to find games that you can actually play accordingly to your abilities.
Yeah. Colorblind modes, different control systems, customizations.
Even just having a dyslexic font, for example. Little things like that can make a huge difference. And I'm glad that the Steam's making it a lot easier for users to be able to find those kind of games, and for developers to be also like, you know, maybe when they're filling out the questionnaire, they're like, oh, maybe we should consider putting in some of these features. Like, this is something that they're asking about. Maybe this is something that players are looking for. All right, let's hop into the upcoming game releases. Caroline, what's coming out on Friday the 2nd of May?
It is monochromatically play soccer in 2001 Ecuador. Despelete on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Head to hell and arrest Satan in the platform shotgun jumping Shotgun Cop Man on PC and Switch. Dive into the depth in the narrative puzzler Subverge on PC.
Ooh. And what's happening on Monday and Tuesday, Peter?
Well, on Monday we have go from bartender to investigator in Solve the Murders in Best Served Cold on All Things. And then on Tuesday, Tetris-based realm builder Drop Douchey comes to PC. Douchey? I'm not sure how to say that one. I'm going to go Drop Douchey. Comes to PC. Defend Earth in the deck builder Gods vs. Horrors on PC. 90s nostalgia-infused spreadsheet Puzzler Spreadsheet comes to PC.
That one's for me.
Yep. The 2010 announced Pirates Hack and Slash Captain Blood finally comes to the PC and consoles
I
as
have
well.
been waiting for that one for 15 years.
Captain Blood.
I've not. But I'm excited for those people who've been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Wednesday, 7th of May brings 3D Among Us on the PC, so you can get murked in first person. And strategy cross deck builder cross nightmare Deck of Haunts comes to PC. We've also got some future releases. The better and original Frostpunk is getting a Unity remake in Frostpunk 8086 coming in 2027. That's so in the future.
That's very future.
That's a while away.
Sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai, has been confirmed to release exclusively on PlayStation 5 on October 2nd, and Borderlands 4 has moved up its release schedule by a week. So now it's due for release on September 12th.
Yeah.
And I'm going to laugh if they push it back again.
Yeah,
They just had
please let
a
it
20-minute
happen.
state of play PlayStation video this morning, and it actually looks quite decent.
Okay. All right. I'm willing to stand corrected when it comes out. But you know what? That's all this week in gaming news.
You're listening to Z Games at 4ZZZ.
You're listening to Z Games on 4ZZZ.
Oi mate, you're listening to Z Games at 4ZZZ.
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 Got a bit carried away.
You're listening to Z Games. My name is Zara, and with me in the studio is Caroline and Peter. Say howdy, hello, howdy.
Howdy, hello.
Howdy.
Howdy, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, you can. It's all right. I'll reboot you. While Caroline's getting rebooted, they're also going to prepare a review for us. So that means we're gonna.
The platform, Steam. Genre, Souls-like Metroidvania. Action. Price, $43.95. Developer and publisher, Red Candle Games. Yes, I am back on my nonsense with another Metroidvania Souls-like, 9 Souls. It's a 2D side-scroller with hand-drawn art and a captivating storyline. The game feels and plays very similar to Hollow Knight, with some of the mechanics and the abilities being basically identical. However, where it differs is its self-described Sekiro-inspired deflection-focused combat.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
it was on...
Those are some words.
Listen, it was on the page. Anyway, I've never played Sekiro, so I can't speak to that, but the parry system is integral to the game. You can get by with a more dodge-style play style, which is how I tend to play, but parrying is the optimal way to play. Sad face emoji.
Oh.
The timing is essential with this mechanic, and unfortunately for me, as I have little to no sense of timing, so I struggled quite a bit with this game, which definitely affected my enjoyment of it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, yeah, a good portion of my early playtime was with the game sitting idle, where I had to walk away from it lest I pitched the controller through my monitor.
Oh, one of those.
Yes, I was at a roadblock against the fourth boss when I gave up. And I started a new game on story mode, because this game, it has a story mode.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yes, but it made things a little too easy, if I'm being honest. I was able to get to the final boss in less time than it had taken me to get to the fourth boss in my first playthrough. So... Yeah, I flew through the game with practically no trouble and managed to brute force my way through the rest of the bosses without really needing to grasp the parry mechanics at all too well, up until I hit the final boss, which needs a firm grasp of said mechanics, and I once again hit a wall. Yeah, I feel like a third game mode between story and the normal difficulty would be nice. The early game's movement and combat felt slow and frustrating, but I realized that I was more used to late game movesets and abilities of similar games. So once I unlocked a few abilities, that particular frustration went away. So that was not a game problem, that was a me problem. The setting is described as Tau-punk, blending a futuristic technologic style with Eastern aesthetics. While this game is very similar to other games that have come to before, it is still good. It takes the concept of Taoism and blends that with the gameplay. Thoughtful, deliberate, and precise combat is rewarded, with an emphasis on turning the enemy's attacks against them as part of the parry system. Successfully parry and you gain key charges, which can be used as powerful attacks. I felt like the hitboxes felt a bit unfair in a few areas. Like if I exit the dodge during a enemy's spear attack, you'd think I'd just have to avoid the spearhead. But no, I exit the dodge and touch the shaft, just slightly, and I get the full brunt of the attack. I don't know if it was actually unfair, if I'm just not good at dodging, and therefore I'm salty about it. The audio, yeah, I'm bad at games. But the audio cues are excellent. I can tell just from the sound whether I have made a successful parry, a poor one, or just straight up eaten poo-poo. The game has beautiful music, and lots of it. There's 72 tracks in its soundtrack. I feel like the game's strongest point is its world building and story. It's great. The way it unfolds as it just sticks you in the middle of it, and the character you play knows what's going on, but you as the player have no idea and have to piece it together from dialogue, descriptions of objects in the game world, and from context clues. The game doesn't hold your hand, and it allows the story to unfold in a truly captivating way. For the story, I don't want to spoil anything. It did make me cry at one point, just absolute
like sad
sobbing
tears,
mess. Oh yeah,
happy tears?
No sad tears.
Oh.
The story got me.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah, the story's like, to not spoil it, it's like cat people in space. It's about science versus mysticism and spirituality, the clashing of different ideals about being a good person and what ties us to one another and what we owe to each other, and about letting go. Yeah, the developers and publisher have made 2 games prior to this, both of them in the horror genre. I tried to play the first game, Detention. I made it 15 minutes
that's
in.
the same people.
Got jump scared, and I gave up. Because no.
Oh, okay, that's the same people.
Yeah,
huh?
it's a. They also did Devotion, which is a kind of, it's like PT in a Taiwanese apartment complex.
Oh.
I remember that I watched a YouTube video of it back in the day because the stories they do are so good. But yeah, it's horror, and so it's a really big departure.
Yeah.
But yeah, despite it all, I liked it. The story was what made me come back, despite the frustration in me, not being good at it. But yeah, all in all, I'd say give it a go.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was it out again? In May?
May last year, yeah.
May last year. Okay, so it's already out.
Yes.
Right.
It's been out for quite a while because I am always late to the game.
That's
Games.
all right. That's all right. It's better late than never.
All the bugs should hopefully be fixed.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that review.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that. I feel like I need to point out that Souls is spelled S-O-L-S.
Oh yeah, the Souls are boss people. They're the ones that you have to kill.
Okay.
Sorry, listen, I was so taken by just the beautiful emotional story that I'm like, I don't care about the structure of, it's a Souls, like, you got to kill guys and then you use the abilities you get to unlock different places of the map, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
We know the drill.
The weekly dose of science on 4ZZZ is now available as a podcast.
I learned that you can hear the difference between different water temperatures when they're poured. I'm going to pour one after the other into a different glass, and you have to tell me which one is which temperature. I've got a hot and a cold. Right, here's the first one. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm saying cold.
It sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Here's the second one.
Well played.
Shut up. Search No Idea 4ZZZ on your favourite podcasting app. That's spelled K-N-O-W, like no idea. It's a visual pun on an audio platform. I don't know why we did it.
My name is Zara. You're listening to Z Games, and with me in the studio this episode is Peter and Caroline.
That we are.
I just love. I love. I'm full of love.
Aww.
But you know what I'm also full of?
Reviews?
Game reviews.
Game reviews.
Yeah, right.
Game review. Game review. What review could it be? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm not as good at that as Paul, but I cannot take that away from him. I wouldn't want to be as good at it as Paul.
No.
So, the game I shall be reviewing, Gauntlets. I liked watching ants as a kid. Not the movie, the insects. During recess at school, my best friend and I would find our favourite spot to watch the little guys go, their trails and how they change day to day. Would sometimes remove an obstacle for them or even lay a crumb for them to find, and would make up stories about the ants. We made up ant drama. It was a brief period of time, but there's a joy to simple observation and imagination, and to understanding how separate our worlds seem to be due to the difference in scale. Anyway, I want to talk about Gauntlets, an adorable sandbox game where you create a world for your Gauntlets and you get to watch them interact with it. Developed by Auntie Games, it's become my latest attempt in finding a game that replicates the experience of watching an ant's nest as a child. It's quite a detailed game in a pixel-like art style that can be rotated and zoomed in and out like a city builder. You have the ability to terraform the world to your liking, plant trees and foliage, place rocks and boulders, build houses and town halls and tents and other things. Place a river here, put a bridge there, whatever you like. When you call your first Gordlet to your world, a train arrives, your only links to the outside world. You can call for more Gordlets to move to your town, and one by one they disembark from that train and immediately settle the inn. But here's the thing about Gordlets. They're not fussed. They're simply not bothered. They don't really want anything. They don't get sick or die. They don't get hungry or thirsty. They just like to hang out. And if they come across a swing, they're going to swing on it. What I mean to say is that there are no demands from this game. There's no currency, no materials you need to collect to build more things. There's no consequence for tearing up everything and rebuilding absolutely everything. The Gordlets are not bothered, and you don't have anything to lose. And this made it a good companion game for watching lectures, because I could have it on one screen and just watch my Gordlets roam around enjoying this town I made for them. I could zoom in on a corner and really put in a lot of detail, gardening in my little town. I put bins where I felt bins should go, and I made sure they had plenty of seats, toys, entertainment, picnics, and barbecues. After a period of time, Gordlets will bloom, and you can harvest it. Eventually you can call in a parcel, which will bring you a brand new type of furniture or building you can place. You can change the season, weather, time of day. I really liked nighttime because the Gordlets glow at night, and that was really soothing to watch. But that lack of demand from the game can make it feel boring to some people, or unmotivating perhaps. I had it as a companion game to my lectures, and that worked well for me. I liked that I could just work a bit at my town at a time, or just leave it be for a while. And I liked it almost as a screensaver. It's a cute, beautiful game that just releases you from any anxiety and also leaves everything totally up to you, at your pace and discretion. The Gordlets simply DGAF, as they say.
As the youth say? I'm looking at it and they're so cute. I admit when you said the name, I thought you said Gorblets. And I had something completely different pictured. But this is adorable.
Well, now I need to go find whatever Gorblets would be, because now I want to play that.
I have an image in my head. They're very round and slightly saggy, maybe. But anyway, these are adorable. Can you set them on fire? Drop them in the ocean?
No, that you can't really do anything to them. They're just doing their own thing. They're like run around.
And you facilitate their existence.
Like not even they're just simply not bothered. They're just
So
living
if you
in
just
this
had
world.
a little 1x1 square, would you be able to have a bunch of Gordlets on it?
Yes, you can, but it does make you feel bad because, that feels unethical, even though they don't care.
They don't care though.
Well,
so you can do anything.
But I care. I
guess this come to
I gotta end this
goes
review.
into your mental state on how you look after them.
Let's just hop into it. I got another review. Alright, another review. It's about a frog. Huh? A sleeping frog. A sleeping frog is growing grass. No, not that kind of grass.
Oh.
Disappointing.
Wow. Unbelievable. Rubrika's Idle Island, developed by Moksan, Little Chmara, and Begona Pereda, and on the platform PC. Want to watch grass grow? What if there was a sleepy frog who would cut the grass after it grows, harvesting it? What if that sleepy frog was harvesting grass on your desktop, floating on a little island, not needing any input from you, but quite happy to do his thing? Let me tell you about Rubrika's Idle Island. Developed by this trio, it has joined my assortment of idle games to keep me company while I smash up my work, whether that's lectures, note-taking, reading chapter after chapter on legislation and case law. Rubrika is a diligent frog who understands the importance of rest and whimsy. The grass grows, he'll harvest it until he's tired, and then he goes to rest until his stamina is restored. We stand a king. As he harvests grass clippings, you can trade it in for upgrades that improves the quality of the grass or increases the speed it grows. Or you can increase Rubrika's stamina, so he can harvest for longer, or he's able to cut grass more quickly. It seems like you can continue to upgrade infinitely, but the cost of the upgrades increases steeply. Over time, Repuka will generate coins. You can also buy coins. You can use these coins to unlock cosmetics like a flower crown or headphones for Repuka.
Cute.
Different coloured grass, a different style of home for him. You can customise his little island quite a lot, and there's a lot of options to unlock. You can also buy some lottery tickets which will randomly unlock or increase the rank of cosmetics. And there is music to go with the game. They had a recent update introducing a selection of mixtapes, which is an assortment of ambient sounds like birds, rain and wind, and lo-fi music.
Nice.
If I want to listen to lo-fi music, it was perfect. But if I didn't, I could just easily mute it. And that's really it. Repuka is your friendly, sleepy desktop frog with a job to do. It's a very unobtrusive game that can just play around on your desktop, above or underneath whatever window you're working on. You can resize it, switch him from monitor to monitor, put him in the corner, put him in the middle screen, just wherever you need him to be.
Nice.
And Repuka will be there.
It looks really cute.
It does.
And now I'm wondering how many desktop idle little things that you can put anywhere could you fit onto one screen?
I think I'm finding that out slowly but surely.
How many idols is too many idols?
When my computer starts to melt down.
When the FPS of a very low FPS game starts to chug.
When it starts to affect your Word documents.
Yes, yes. And that is my review of Repuka's Idle Island.
Nice.
Love. Love frogs. Love frogs. Love.
Don't eat
frogs.
the egg.
Grass, but not that type of grass.
And we're coming up to the end of the episode.
Aww.
But that's okay because I've got a whole list of things you all should be looking forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Get your calendars out. All right. Are we all ready?
Yep. Get your phone, get a calendar, pen or paper, somewhere to record these down.
My head.
So we've got BrizCon coming up on the 17th and 18th of May at the Mount Gravatt Showgrounds. There's tournaments, trading, bring and play, all with free entry. It is everything board game, tabletop RPGs, just miniatures, everything. So everything you can put on a table, they're all about it.
That's about 2 weeks away.
Yep. So you can check out brizcon.com.au for more information. There is also a Brisbane Council listing about it as well. So look it up. You'll find it. Check it out.
BrizCon.
We've also got Indie Dev Night coming up at Lost Souls Netherworld on the 29th of May with another showcase of local games. Any devs who are interested in sharing their games, have a look at our Facebook. That's at ZEDGamesAU for a link to the form. It is a bit more of a chill, casual event, and it's always an awesome time.
Oh, yeah.
Also, free.
Free.
Yep. Free games. You can't take the games home, but like you can play them and you can talk to the devs.
Yeah, check out the devs, check out the indie games,
Yeah.
have a drink, meet some people in the gaming community and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or game developer community.
And the next stop up from there, Queensland Games Festival will be back again on the 14th of June at the Brisbane Powerhouse.
It's getting so close.
It is bigger than ever. It's the biggest showcase of games developed by Queenslanders in Queensland. It's a totally free day full of games of all types, workshops, and the brand new Amplified Games hosted by Z Games. For more information, please check out queenslandgamesfestival.com.au. If you are a local dev and you want to submit one of your projects, go to that website for a link to the form. Expression of interest closes on the 11th of May. So don't delay. Just get that submission through.
Yep. You got about a week.
You got about a week.
Chop, chop.
We want to have so many games we don't know what to do with it. Except just put them all into the Brisbane Powerhouse and have people have a play.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fun day.
Again, completely free.
Yes.
Are you picking up a pattern here? People just want you to play games.
Yeah.
People just want you
Local
to play
games, good games, board games, digital games, all the games.
Everything.
Play them, enjoy them, socialize with them.
Yeah. And have fun.
Yeah.
That's really the most important thing. So that brings Z Games to the conclusion for this week, but don't worry, we'll be back again next week.
They will be.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care. I love you.
Good night.
Aww.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Z Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app.
Or find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.